Okay, so this is Mario once again with MI Flight. Today, Sunday, October 12th, 2025. I did an earlier video showing this model in my CAD program. I basically redesigned this whole helicopter. This is, by the way, a helicopter that I did back in the 70s. You can see there's still little dust there. I did this in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and you know, this is the motor that I was flying this helicopter with. This is a Speed 600 that works from 8.4. The label says 8.4 on the other side, 8.4 volts motor. And so this the helicopter that I was flying that back in those years. So over the years, you know, I put all this stuff away, and I decided to bring this back and convert a lot of these very crude, you know, ridiculously simple frame that I did just with hand tools, plywood frame, you know, into 3D printer form. So this is the result of the 3D printed version of that. As I have said in many videos with respect to the designing in 3D printed form parts, you know, made from 3D printed materials. It normally takes me 3 tries before I get it just right, and that's just the process of making the first iteration or the first prototype, and then fine-tuning, you know, for either shape or weight or fit. That's this is my first take on this on the frame after taking measurements from here, and just slightly upgrading some of the geometry here. You can see, but very similar to the basically it's the same frame, so I didn't want to deviate too far from the original design that I had there. I think it's a pretty, like I said, very ridiculously simplistic frame. And so that's what I have tried to do with this. The only one thing that that is of importance here is of course weight. You know, it's got to be lightweight. So the way this frame came out, I made this out of 1 millimeter, or not 1 millimeter, 0.1. It's almost like 3 millimeter thick plastic 3D printed plates here, with some of these other components to sandwich in between the frame is a support. So this is the base here. Actually, this base is supposed to be upside down, but as you can see, I've been already attaching some of these parts right here, and that's where actually this is a hard balsa 3/8 square boom that I use, and I use my belt drive. These are the servos, the S300 servos that I employed here, but I've also done a little modification to the way I attach the servos here, so we can see here on the other side. You know, oh, that servo is, of course, the one in my hand. Actually, that servo was installed this way with a couple blocks, and so I didn't really want to do the same thing on the 3D printed, where we can make it a lot more cleaner. You know, so this is the servo that is going to fit right there. Let me pause this video for a minute. Okay, so we can see how the servos are already installed and fitted there, and I did this change here because, like I said a little bit ago, that one of these servos had to be installed on 2 blocks on the other side of this plywood frame, and you can see how very crude this frame is, you know, but back in the day. This gear came from stock drive, as well as this timing belt drive right here with the pulley stock drive products. I'm surprised that this, over the years, this belt is still pretty intact. You know, anti-rotation a bracket here for this wash plate. I don't have this wash plate here. I took some of these mechanical components out so that I can also make them in 3D form. I'm about to work on the landing gear. The landing gear on this one, I use aluminum tubing and aluminum plate. You know, this is, I believe, it's either 1/32 in thickness. It's all American standard dimensions here, because a lot of this stuff, you know, was back from like I said, the day back in the late 70s and early 80s, from with American-made parts. What was I going to say here? Okay, so I'm going to refine this frame just to cut down some weight, because obviously this frame is a lot lighter than this right here. This came out a little bit heavier because of the thickness here. So I'm going to do some lightening of the parts, and that can be done just by removing some of the material internal to this, creating pockets on the inside of the frame so that the frames are much lighter. So this is where I'm at right here. Stay tuned for the continuation of this as I work on this interesting project here. Mario once again. Thanks for watching.